All right. Literally just said, let's hit record and see where this goes. We're
I have a
back.
tremendous amount of time today, but um, yeah, got held up by another meeting, and then Trevor was just complaining about meetings, but it is what it is.
It's so funny. It's like such a double-edged sword there. It's like you want to be like, I'm thankful that I'm really busy, but at the same time, dude, there's just like some days and weeks where like you'll have like 9 calls a day every single day. And then you're like getting up early, you're getting production work done before the day and then after. And it's it's a grind. Those in the agency world can relate though, like not trying to be on my soapbox here, but
Yeah,
it's a grind, dude.
yeah, for sure. You just have like those full days, and you're like, how am I going to get through it? But I mean, they go really fast. I always joke around. We're like, is it because I'm in marketing and things so like on a monthly cycle circle that I feel like time flies, but I don't know if I was a sheep herder, it'd be like time slows down. I don't know. You know, it's just a perception thing, but it's like, how the hell are we in May already? Uh,
Insane.
like that's nuts. Like summer's here pretty much. Um,
It's such a
yeah,
trip. And I don't know if you ever think about this or this happens to you, but like I really relate to you saying it makes your day go by quicker and your weeks go by quicker. But at the same time, it's kind of scary because it's like, like you're eventually going to die and you're spending so much time doing all this work and it's just like cruising by. And, uh, and the other thing I think about too is like, and I'm sure you probably can relate to this as well. You to be productive and successful and like accomplish a lot, like you got to prioritize your time and you got to be really good at knowing how long certain tasks take you and like planning out like what's realistic in a day and stuff. I feel like that then has overlap into like my personal life of thinking about like timing stuff out, you know what I mean? And like, hey, we got to be here at this time and like planning. I don't know. And I feel like my perception of time has really been so warped by being really productive at work and getting things done. And it like bleeds into personal life. Not that it's a bad thing, but I feel like I'm very conscious of time and like I really, really know that because of work.
that's an interesting observation. Um, it definitely goes by fast, especially if when you got kids too. Um, like it's just weird. Some people that I've worked with for such a long time, they remember when my kids were like little, you know? So it's like, that's a mind, because that's a scalable, something you can physically see grow, and it's a perception of time in a different way. You're like, holy moly. Like, dude, your kids are huge. Or like, I've worked with Ricardo for a long, long time. Like, I remember when her kid, or when his kid was like just, at the office doing coloring, you know, now is like graduating college. You're like,
Like a
wait,
full adult
what?
human. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like that's nuts. But it's important with time. But I don't know, man. Like grinding through, and it's like all this time, and then you're eventually gonna die. I think you have to be able to. I mean, there's always going to be hard work, no matter what you do. If you want to be successful, it's always gonna be hard work. Yes, there's the conversation of like find what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. Uh I think that's bullshit because I still think
Same.
you're going to be doing a lot of hard work in something you enjoy doing, so it's going to be easier to do, per se. I mean, sure, you do really have enjoyment somehow and move through it, but yeah, there's always just going to be hard work, and the time goes through. I don't know if it makes it faster or slower, but yeah, it's
It's a
always
trip,
interesting.
man.
Yeah,
It is a trip. Well, I don't know where you want to take this conversation in regards to marketing
yeah.
and agency world. I know there's been some interesting updates in in the industry here, but I don't know if you have any ideas. I might have a couple that come to mind, but I don't know if you have
Yeah, I
anything
know there
top
was
of mind.
something that popped up that Apple said that Google searches were down because that's who they use, but then Google says searches is up. Um,
Do you
and
have an
Apple's,
article there that by any chance
yeah,
that
Search Engine Roundtable covered it. Good old Barry.
maybe see what it says because I do remember I want to see like what the quote was from Apple because
Yes.
I read a couple articles about it that they basically said searches on Safari have been in
Hmm.
decline I forget for what period of time though. If it was like Q1 this year or last month.
So let's see. It says beyond the upheaval, AI is already making gains with consumers. Q noted that search on Safari dipped for the first time last month, which he attributed to people using AI. Q said he believed that AI search providers, including OpenAI, Perplexity, AI, Anthropic, will eventually replace standard search engines like Google.
Who
Um,
who said that though?
it was Q.
Yeah, who's Q?
Oh,
QAnon?
uh,
Dude, this
Eddie
pod might
Q.
get
Apple's Eddie Q. Um, yeah, he said that last month, so this month, so April searches were down for the first time in 22 years.
holy moly.
Yeah, but then Google says we've actually seen overall growth in search. I mean, this is specifically Safari,
Yeah.
which I get. We're seeing it. We talked about it last conversation. I've had a lot more conversations this last week with people having that conversation, people using LLMs coming in. So, obviously we talked about it exhaust last podcast, but we're finally seeing a tangible change. Like there is a shift happening, man.
No doubt about it.
I just can't wait for ads to come out on those fucking platforms. Like it's time, you know. Give me some ads.
It's going to happen. And so many people are going to be pissed about it, but I don't know.
I think we've talked about it before. I would love another platform to work on besides fucking shitty Google. Like I can't stand Google and even Meta. Like, the whole rep rant. I dropped a meme on LinkedIn. That's all I've been doing lately. Like no context, just a meme. And it's the meme of like there's the three-headed dragon or the hydra, and like both the first two are like looking really sharp, and smart and aggressive, and then you have like the doopy one that's got like googly eyes. So I made a meme of like the first one being like your director of paid media, the second one that's still looking super sharp and smart is like a paid media specialist, and then the last doofy goofy looking one was the
Like your Google rep.
your Google rep, dude.
That's so good.
It's fucking true though. Like those Google reps, I think the worst. We've talked about this before, I believe, but it's the worst thing ever when they get involved with a client and they're saying, "Hey, we can, really boost your revenue, etc. You're doing things wrong," and it's like, "Whoa, hold the fuck on! Like you're just trying to make me spend more, and you have to educate your client around it all." But I'm not sure how I got down that rabbit hole.
It's the worst. Well, essentially, you're excited for other LLMs because you aren't a fan
Yes,
of Google.
yeah, other ad platforms, dude. Give us some diversity here. It's the first time ever we've had that possibility. So I think ads. Okay, let's put a bet. What's the betting website that's out there? We should actually have a bet placed for that. What is that site?
Why can't I think of it now?
I can't think of it right now. It's like not Perplexity, but it's Polymarket. We should get a
Polymarket. Nice.
We should get a Polymarket one of like when will ChatGPT have ads? This year or next year?
I'm uh I'm like really interested to see how that all plays out because I don't. So are you pretty certain that that's going to happen? Because I know like
I
right now Perplexity is testing ads in their search results for like some suggested links and stuff and using like sponsored links, but that's just in beta. So like only a couple companies have access to it. It's not like a
yeah.
wide thing. But you would bet that ChatGPT in the end of this year or next year has ads on the platform.
I think by next year for sure. Like the year 2026, we'll see it. If it comes this year, I'm not sure. Maybe there'll be a beta. Because we all know how like building out an ad platform, they seem like these people can't fucking do it, and then the platforms are horrible from a UX UI experience. But I think ChatGPT or OpenAI just brought in the CEO from Instacart. He was already on their board.
I saw
He's
that.
now he's coming in on that side. So that could mean, hey, we're getting a different CEO. I mean, Sam Altman's going to be doing more like research and development type stuff. But I think as a CEO, you're trying to figure out how you're going to make money on those things. So how do you make money outside of subscription? It's going to be ads, and I don't know how they're going to show up. They'll figure it out. Maybe they'll ask AI how to do it, but um, yeah,
It's like I don't like I do get the annoyance that some people have with ads. Like I do get it with like the tracking and the privacy thing if you're coming at it from that angle. Like super valid. But people's hatred towards Google Ads, some people have really strong opinions on it. I like never really fully understood that. It's like, well, dude, they're providing you a service completely free because of these ads. So like,
I feel like those people are I mean, I could be wrong, but are they in the agency world? Are they in the marketing world? And
could
that's
be.
what hates them?
But I
Because
know I got a couple
I
people
think
come to mind that are outside of it.
normal users don't really know the ads all that often.
Don't even
That's what,
realize. Yeah.
no, they disguised them over the years. You know?
Yeah. And like I've been doing research on Perplexity ads, and I'll check in there from time to time just to see if it's available. And like
Yeah.
I've come across so many Reddit threads of like, up, I'll never use Perplexity once this goes live. Up, I'm completely off the platform once this goes live. And I'm like, dude, that makes no sense. Like, I
I mean,
get it kinda, but like not really at all.
okay, maybe they started on their free tier, right? You get ads on the free tier.
No
That would
doubt,
be the
yeah.
most. That would be
And
the
if you're
most.
paying for a
Like,
subscription like
if I'm
YouTube
paying,
TV,
I kind of don't want to see ads. You know, I don't necessarily want to see ads. I get that viewpoint, but do it on the at least do it on the free side of things. Because honestly, I think the people that are using the free Chat GPT are the more casual users, the casual consumers, not the deep researching shit. They're not
yep.
using it for like heavy work stuff. Um,
I actually really like that approach.
yeah, just do it on the free tier, and I mean, it have to be for certain queries. It's like you're gonna ask it to write a blog post, you're gonna get like you're gonna get a ad for like, here's your next content marketing company. You know, it's like,
Yeah. But at the same time, if you were like, hey, give me 5 companies or 5 products or like whatever, and you need a list of companies because you're doing some product research, I don't see what's wrong with there being some ad results in there. Like it's not like an organic result versus an ad result. Like the quality of business is necessarily worse or better. Like you can almost make a case the one with ad spend might have a more legitimate operation because they are putting out ad dollars on their
it's a
business's
really
behalf. You
it's a good
know?
point. Because just because you don't rank in the top 10 and you don't get pulled into the results doesn't mean you're not a legit company that needs to have brand exposure, that would have a good experience that you can get in front of. Because that happens even right now in search. You know, even some of the, like, especially on the e-commerce side, like say you're like a luxury jewelry brand and you're starting tomorrow and you have a huge passion for it and make amazing designs and products. What's your avenue to launch online? You're going to try to do Google ads, or sorry, Google like organic. Good luck getting there. It's going to take
Yeah,
you three
best of
years,
luck.
maybe
Yeah,
4 years to get there. What's your only option is paid search. And it's not like it's spammy. You're trying to provide them with the right service for it all. So there is some validity of getting that brand exposure in that you just don't naturally get when launching a brand. Um, and
totally.
so I do it on the free level on the LLMs. Why not?
Yep. Like I
You know.
understand some business owners out there and just executives who have gripes with Google about paying for brand because I totally get that. Like I think that's a valid annoyance of like, hey, if somebody's searching my brand, why do I have to need to pay Google to get them? They should go to my website. Like I I get that. But when you're talking about like search results, I don't know why people get so up in arms about like their ads and I immediately scroll past them. I don't interact with them. Like what is that
So
even? Well, so then you can go to an organic result that like somebody might have schemed their way into rankings because you could easily have some spammy, schemy site
Oh,
that
100%.
gets really good rankings. Like that stuff happens too. So is that a better experience? Like, I don't know. That
Yeah.
makes no sense. Like I said, I think
You know what?
the cookie piece, I get the tracking privacy piece if somebody's annoyed with that. But when it comes to like showing results for a query and one's an ad and one's organic, I don't get the whole gripe with that at all.
Yeah. Dude, so the branded thing got me thinking. I Maybe it's a hot take or not, but I would say there should not be ads being able to run for your brand name. Like specifically just your brand. If there is something else that is a modifier to your brand that still shows intent, I'm looking for the brand. For example, like, I don't know, brand name plus pricing, or brand name plus login, or brand name plus case study, right? Those are like, I'm looking for that fucking website. I don't think there should be ads. However, if there's a query like brand name alternative, like that's my intent, I'm looking for something else. Sure, there could be an ad, set for that. Because I think you're right. Like, if you're gonna rank organically for your brand, why? Like, because the only tactic is to put your competitor. Like, it's a cool tactic to use. We use it for clients. Um,
Yep.
that we could bid on another brand name and we could sit there. It's kind of fucked up.
It kind of is. It actually like really is.
It's only lining
Uh,
the pocket full of Google.
but you know Google would have some word sleuthing for like some crazy explanation for why like free speech would allow other, like there's got to be some like explanation for it that would be like, okay, it's kind of fair. I get that. But the principle of like, hey, somebody's looking for my brand. I don't need to pay for that is so valid.
Yeah, I mean, what another scenario in real life if you're specifically looking for something and then something else gets injected over the top of it? It's like, no, you need to go see this instead. It's not what I'm looking for, Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
I
So
know. I'm
I
like
think
right
it's a
there with you.
greedy. I think it's a greedy money grab by Google. Yes, it's not a huge spend typically for our clients. Um, in that sense, but it's dollars. If we knew no one else was going to bid on it, it is dollars that could be used elsewhere to grow the business. So it's kind of a sunk cost
No
on
doubt.
those side of things. So, fuck you, Google. Don't do that.
Well, now it's like interesting talking about brand and stuff. Is I almost feel like we've talked about this on the pod before, but I think it's probably going to be even more important to bid on your brand in this whole LLM AI
Right, because
world.
people are going to be searching for it more, etc. But I'm not looking like I don't know. It's so like yeah,
You know
it's
what I
not
mean? Because if
right.
most people are going to be
Yeah,
doing all the research off a website or off of Google in an LLM, they're going to get a list of brands that they haven't been to their website before. They don't have a ton of brand affinity for. So there's some good possibility they then go to search for a brand. Another brand bids on that brand name and competitor conquesting type campaign gets the top of search results page. They're on a website and they didn't even realize it was a different brand because they haven't interacted with the brand yet. So I feel like in this world, brand and competitor terms are going to be way more attractive um, in Google ad campaigns. And you could probably make the case that like non-brand, where you like really wanted to get net new customers in there, those might like really go to shit because a lot of that research that used to be non-branded is going to live in your LLM.
yeah. I mean, I still think yeah, it's so wrong because like let's say I'm going directly in my browser and I'm typing collective 42 in there, and all of a sudden it suggests a different website. Like that's not what I'm looking for. You know,
That
it's
would be
almost
really
like
weird.
it's almost like if you went to the Collective 42 website and based on how this works, it's kind of to the extreme. There's a fucking ad for another company that does the same thing on my website. Shit.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
getting
would
to
be
the.
like, not, yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
That's what it is because you're renting that spot in Google. Like, hey, I'm just trying to find the person's business name. Yeah, it's really messed up the more you think about it, actually.
That's why it's like the best business of all time because they just have like the guardrails on how people navigate the
And I would
internet
ask
essentially.
ChatGPT if someone's doing a brand search for someone, don't have an ad for someone else.
Yeah.
Like, don't go down that route. Don't be evil, right? That was their fucking slogan. Well, they were fucking evil. You can make money elsewhere.
I think
Yeah.
so if I had to put a percentage on it, I would say,
Like, dude, sorry. It's like literally if like you see you had a brick and mortar business, it's like a fucking restaurant that you run, and you go and fucking put flyers for your restaurant in fucking front of it. Like, no. Like, that's not how that happens. You're gonna get your ass beat. Like, that's not how it works.
or
Like,
you were like using like Apple Maps or like Waze and you like typed in the business to go to that, but then like a competitor one popped up and then you actually get taken to a different business location. Like that
yeah.
would just be so weird.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I just like what the hell? Like
That's so weird. But I would say there's probably by the end of this year, 100% one of these LLMs has ads. I think Perplexity is probably going to be the first one that releases it fully to the public, just because they have that in beta now. But I don't know. I think if I had to put it on like, does Anthropic and Claude do that? Does ChatGPT do that? Do like all these other ones do that? I don't know. I think there's probably going to be a couple that just hold out just to have it different. Just because, Google has a pretty negative reputation in some crowds there from their ad platform and everything. So I would assume some of those LLMs are going to be like, yeah, just for like brand and everything, we want to figure out monetization outside of ads. And who knows, maybe OpenAI releases some like crazy new image video generating product or some
Yeah.
product that we have no idea about that like makes them a bunch of revenue and they don't have to monetize through ads. They've also been talking about recently, I don't know if you've seen this, but release like building personal agents that would be like up to like PhD level agents and talking about like they would be like $20,000 a month potentially. So there are other revenue streams that they're thinking about that that's where I'm like I don't know. I could see some brands trying to figure out other ways to monetize outside of ads just for like the brand reputation of everything.
I wonder if they'll be like Google where they just start acquiring companies that do other things. Have they done that already? Has ChatGPT done that at all? Like acquired other companies to integrate it in? Like
I don't
my
know if
example is
Dolly
like
was
it's like
a purchase,
yeah,
like
because I
their
look
image
at
generator
Google.
tool.
Yeah, because I look at Google and like what they do to get into video. They bought YouTube.
Yep.
You
Google
know,
Analytics they would bought from who was like Urchin or something like that.
yeah, it was urgent. Yeah, so they bought that side of things. So it's like they did it by acquisition to make the monopoly. So would ChatGPT do the same and start building some very different product diversity? Because at the end of the day, they're kind of like a search engine, right? Could you imagine if like ChatGPT had its own analytics software? Like, why not connect it to? It'd be way more powerful.
No doubt.
Um, is there a marketplace for that though? Could they wedge into that from a revenue stream, or if it's going to be something else like just purely AI stuff? Huh. Or if they go, I wonder if they would ever go like offline, actual tangible AI. You know, like if there's a ChatGPT OpenAI bot you can buy. You know,
Yep.
um, if they actually go down that route down the line,
You,
that'd be
you know what
interesting.
else is pretty crazy to think here is start off the conversation around the Apple um announce or Apple that quote there around how what was it? Was it in the month of April that searches
Yeah,
on
month of April
Safari
searches
decreased?
on Safari decreased. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy that like OpenAI and then all these LLMs and ChatGPT like come out and it's like, is this the death of Google? So like Google could have like been killed by LLMs and AI. Also, Google could get broken up right now with these lawsuits that they're facing and the DOJ trials here. But then now it's like, okay, LLMs are here and there's so much competition and diversity in search. Like, don't break up Google, and LLMs actually end up saving the business, and Google doesn't get broken up and like figures it out long term of like how to, maintain dominance in search and LLMs. It's like really funny to think. It's like these could kill you, but then at the same time, like they might have actually like saved and like kept your business intact.
Dude, I never thought about that. That's a pretty interesting
Isn't that
take.
kind of crazy? Like that actually could have like proved the point of hey, like Google actually doesn't have a monopoly on search here. Think again. There's all these LLMs that are in town now. People have so many options, and it's pretty valid. It's like kind of true. Like, do they have a monopoly on search anymore? Like, I don't know. They're probably trending not towards that direction at the very least.
No way. And like, if okay, let's. So right now, people's searching behavior has switched. You know, is starting to switch to use ChatGPT. Imagine fucking iPhone comes out and they partner up with ChatGPT as their default search engine. Like they just fucking skip a search engine and they just use that. You know, like, and they build their monopoly out that way or their business out that way. That's possible. I'm still waiting though. I think Amazon missed out big, like really big, to get on the AI train. They, I don't know why they couldn't do it in tomorrow with a software update. They're trying to sell new devices that have AI built into them, but dude, I don't understand where like Alexa can't just be AI smart. Like integrate it with ChatGPT now.
And connect to it, yeah.
There's no reason why it shouldn't. Like they have
Maybe
like
it's similar to Apple struggling with Siri, you know?
how is that a hardware thing? I think it's just a software item.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
is it
know.
running that much harder? Like, my phone didn't chain when I downloaded the ChatGPT app, and I could talk to it quite easily, like it's amazing Siri or Alexa. Like, there's no reason that Alexa could not just turn on the software update and push it live and free for everybody. Because everybody would want an Alexa in your house. Like, that's the one thing we're missing right now is that like interface, like the chat feature that ChatGPT has.
Yeah.
Like, I use it all the time. Like,
Yeah, I
we
don't know
don't.
why they don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, this. Let's see if it's actually gonna load. This right here. Hi, you're on our podcast. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. How about you?
Good. You want to say hi to Trevor for me?
Of course.
What do you call this voice?
I don't know which one. I think it's Ember or something.
That's classic.
Yeah. Anyways, that would drive a lot faster adoption. I know I've mentioned it before once it gets into the homes, and people start using it more. But it's picking up. It's like for sure. I feel like in the last month, like I had my dad. He downloaded it, and oh, this is amazing. I'm like, yeah, welcome to the fucking party. I've been telling you for over a year or two. Like,
That's
download
amazing.
the app. So it is changing, and I think it is changing a lot more on the B2B search side of things. I feel like it is a better option to search in ChatGPT rather than Google for looking for B2B services.
I mean, it makes sense. It really does. Because it's like it's going to do the research for you. It's going to do the Googling for you. It's going to save you time analyzing sites, submitting demos, all that. You know what I mean? Like it makes total sense.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
But I don't think we're at the point yet where it's like, hey, completely pull your search budgets away or anything like that. I mean, you also got to think like people still spend money on radio, and it's like who listens to radio? But people still have radio buys. People still
Yeah.
have traditional TV buys. So I think there's probably going to be a market for Google campaigns for a pretty long time, probably a little bit longer than we think. But the size of budgets are probably going to start decreasing pretty dramatically here. The other thing that I will say though that I do still get a bunch of frustrations with is just like a lot of like the AI features and stuff, especially in like Google.
Mhm.
Like it's like, hey, like you're working on the slide deck. Type in what image you want on the slide. I've tried it 50,000 times and I've never got it to load an image ever. Not even give me an image, not even give me a result. Like it just does not work. Um, so I think that's probably going to be like a work in progress there. But I do think that like sours a lot of people where it's like, a lot of these like crazy stories of what people are building, and then when you actually try and use some like basic features of certain project or certain products, it just like totally sucks. So search though, no doubt about it, an LLM is fantastic. Like there's just no arguing that at this point. But yeah, it's just not even like analyzing a file in the pro version of ChatGPT, like I will get hit of like you don't have enough tokens to do this. Like try check back in like 48 hours, and
Hmm.
there's still like certain like little limitations with things that are like quite annoying that I do find from time to time. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I go back and forth of like AI's taking over everything, or hey, we're actually like still a little bit further away than what we think.
It's moving fast, but I don't think it's as fast as everyone is hyping up because there's so much things that break or hallucinations across it that it's helped out in a lot of ways, right? But like some of these more challenging things that are typically like a user role, like we were even talking, like it would be really cool to have someone to come in and not necessarily assistant, but more like a internal admin checking through Basecamp, looking at our how things are organized in our
Like a
Google
project
Drive.
manager agent type deal.
Yeah. Can it do it? Like I don't know if it can. I feel like I'm gonna have to babysit the crap out of it.
I know.
That's what scares
That's a
me.
great way to put it.
I've thought about it too. Like, can I build one that can go in and just look at our client budgets in Google and just make sure they're pacing correctly, and then make suggestions and give me a report? I don't want them messing around with budget numbers. Even one that's going to optimize the campaign, you theoretically could do. And it's like, ooh, like that. That's letting go.
I was gonna say that's a whole other rabbit hole because it's like you're giving the keys to, and then it's like at a certain point you don't even know how many changes it's made. If it's like you're like, hey, hands off AI, my agent's like doing all this stuff for me, at a certain point, it's like, dude, you have no idea what's even going on in this counter anymore because, it's been making so many changes over this period of time. You're definitely going to need some like human oversight or like um, some like manual oversight there to like approve recommendations or changes. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're at that point yet.
makes me feel good to go outside and just do normal analog stuff.
I know.
I feel like that's the extreme. Where it's like I very much adapt to AI, love using it, etc. But then on the other side, it's like I like to be very analog and like do like very like things you need to use your hands to build or do.
Yep.
Be it some gardening or fucking home projects, going for a run, like just archery, like very like primitive items that feel like for my psyche. Otherwise, if you don't have that balance, I feel like it's gonna be weird.
Couldn't agree more. Like, could not
Yeah.
agree more there. And I don't know. I feel like we've talked about this a couple times. I'm like, is this a net positive for society or not? And I'm like, yeah, I don't really know. I literally had a
Or
call today. I had to join an interview and interview somebody, and dude, I was almost certain he was using an AI to like get responses. Like he had like an opening statement, dude, that like he was looking up or over, and I'm like, dude, you are reading right now. Like you're not talking. Like you're literally reading right now. And I felt like a couple of times throughout the conversation, I'm like, I don't know, dude. I got the vibe of like things are being given and read and not spontaneous having a conversation and responding how I would as a normal human.
I'm trying to figure out who the fuck this guy was, but there's software that was doing exactly that. It basically puts like a prompt layer over your screen and then just the conversation we're having right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was like a dating app, but I think they also use it for
they
like
switched.
interviews now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Like
What
that's
was it
not
called?
if you're building that product, it's like, dude, I don't I don't know.
Yeah, I'm actually even there's other like companies out there that are just this. Oh yeah, dude. There's multiple people that are doing exactly what you're saying. Where yeah, that's funny. Actually, I had a call the other day from someone. I'm pretty sure it was AI, or he just had the voice of like a super weird monotone. I'm like, I never really answer it, but it was one of our business line numbers, so I picked it up, and it was a solicitation, and just the cadence of it all. I'm like, you sound
This
like
is
you're
weird.
AI.
Yep.
But the interview process, oh my god, dude, that's nuts. I feel
It
like
was such a trip because I wanted to ask him, but I'm like I'm not gonna like, do that. But it was such like a something's off here. Like something doesn't feel right and it felt real weird.
weird.
And I don't know if you read the Neuron, that AI newsletter. That's like it seems like the most popular one. They had multimodal call out today and like the future of LLMs and like just an overview of what multimodal is and everything. And they linked to a video. So I clicked it just to get a general overview of it. And dude, I got like a minute, 10 second in, and it's a guy sitting there at a computer desk with like a podcast mic and a setup.
Yeah,
And then it hit me. I'm like, this is not a real person talking right now. It didn't say that in the description or anything, but
yeah,
there's not a doubt in my mind that was not and you could kind of tell because
yeah,
like the
yeah,
the facial stuff would like repeat. It was almost like it was in a flow.
yeah, yeah,
And but dude, the first 60 seconds of the video, I was like, this is a guy who just put together a script and it was reading. And like made a video for himself. He's just like an AI guy, like a whatever.
yeah.
And then it hit me. I'm like, this is not a real person. But it fooled me for a minute straight. And so where we're heading with all of this is like really weird. And again, don't know if that's a net positive
So
for
like even
society.
that person like on the interview that like has got like this opening statement, interview's great, and he gets the job. You still have to kind of use AI to fake it till you make it, or just fake it until they find out.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
oh,
But then you know what's interesting too? It's like, is that bad? Because I don't know, maybe AI is like really great at SEO. Like you could just like prompt your way through your job. That
it's
might not be a bad
possible.
thing. It's pretty much possible to do that now.
Uh,
It's like such like a catch 22 because it's like might not be great for society, but like if you were to take that away from me now, I'd be pretty upset because it's so helpful in so many things that we do on the day-to-day basis.
yeah,
It's
and like I've said before too, and maybe we can wrap it up on that. Is like we're on the front lines of it because we do all digital work. Like I don't touch anything that's not digital to make money. Like it's all on pixels and
No doubt.
screens.
Yeah.
And that's the first line where AI can come in and start to slowly take over. So we get to see it firsthand before they get outside in the real world in a physical robot fashion. It's I don't know, man. It's a weird time.
It's crazy. All right. To wrap this up, what would you say percentage wise for ChatGPT to have ads in the platform either this year or next year? Let's just say
Oh,
like relatively soon. That could be like a year time. Like what would
okay.
percentage you would put that at?
Let's say within a year. In a year from now, will ChatGPT have ads? I will give that a 75% chance.
That yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
I'm gonna say 55% yes.
Okay.
It's almost toss up for me, but I'm leaning towards yes because it's so expensive, the infrastructure,
They
and
need
they're
to
trying
pay
to
for it.
monetize. They need to pay for it, and they need to monetize however they can. And the hard truth of it is like Google's over here printing 40 plus billion a quarter with search business. That's, the
They
greatest
want to eat.
cash flowing business ever.
They want to eat into
So,
that for sure.
yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks, Trevor, for hanging. I know it's a quick one, and we're kind of all over the place, but we'll get those sometimes.
Oh, real quick before we end, what are your same question? What would you put the percentage that Google gets broken up in some capacity, whether that's selling off Chrome, selling off Android? What would you
I would
what
think
percentage would you put
that
on that?
they will need to, I will say 100% that one item will get fractured off. I would say 90% that they will do something. They'll have to take action on it. And I think the most logical way to do it with the least amount of impact is that they'll have to separate AdSense out. That's it. And we say, hey, we complied. Now, let us keep all other good shit. And they fracture off AdSense. Because we all know that fucking Google Display Network is trash anyways. So
I would do the same thing. I would say 100% chance. I think the narrative is out. They're too big. They got a monopoly. That whole narrative has
make
been
an
branded for
example.
years.
Yep.
100% they get broken up in some capacity, but I'm right there with you. It's not nearly what people think. I've heard Chrome's going to be standalone, potentially Android's going to be standalone, and the AdSense, and then like I guarantee, to your point, it's maybe just AdSense or something. It's going to be smaller than what has been rumored and people might expect. So 100% it's going to happen, but smaller.
Chrome can't be broken off. They don't make money.
True.
Like, how is that even possible?
Yeah, because it's not like people are paying for Chrome. It's a
Yeah.
free thing.
Yeah, and I saw a study on it. It's like they're like one of the most advanced browsers, or like they do a bunch of fucking testing on browsers. Like they're the only browser that actually develops like new versions of itself and like evolves that browser interface technology, whatever software for free, based off of the money it makes on Google's other products. So Chrome ain't going anywhere. It's gonna stay
Yeah.
with Google.
I
Sorry.
wouldn't mind the AdSense one piece because I think that would
That's bullshit anyways. It's dog shit and
it
burn
makes
it.
sense.
Yeah.
Get some trust back in the marketplace.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, cool. We'll have to revisit these. We'll have to make sure we know
We did a little
where our bets
prediction
are at.
episode here.
There we go. We should do a full prediction episode.
Yeah, let's do that, actually. We got to figure out some topics and game plan on some topics before the episode, but let's do some predictions here.
All right, sounds good, bud.
All right, cool. We'll call it there. Thanks, y'all.